Hello, everybody, and happy Big Ten Media Days. It's been an incredible day so far. We just got done talking to Washington, our first new face here in the conference. But I'm thrilled to get to this one because after such an exciting season for Penn State softball last year, we get to have the woman who is at the helm of it all. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. But Sydney, just to start, I just want to send my thoughts and prayers to the DC area and the Wichita communities. I grew up in the DMV area, so just thought obviously a tragic event, but I would be remiss if I didn't send my thoughts and prayers. But anyways, looking forward to speaking to you. I appreciate you so much for doing this, and I'm excited to talk about Penn State softball.
I think beautifully said it. And I'm glad you were able to touch on that because our sport is the world for us, but at times there's things bigger than our sport. So I'm glad you could address that. And now I get to have the fun job of talking about what you guys did last season.
Absolutely.
I mean, you made history for the most successful season here in Happy Valley with a 35-20 overall record, making the program's first NCAA tournament since 2011. You've had a lot of months to reflect on what you guys did last season. What did that mean to you to really change the tide here and the conversation around Penn State softball?
Yeah, it's taken a village to get our program to where it is today. And honestly, I'm just incredibly grateful for all those who have come before, coaching staff members, former student athletes, and then obviously that special group that we had last year. So for me, this is about just what we have collectively been able to do as a program. And yeah, it was a pretty incredible year. You know, we came into that last year, and I think a lot of people did not expect us to do what we did, especially after, having lost some really we lost 10 seniors the year before, 2 incredible pitchers, but our team last year went into that year saying, this is just what we're going to do. We talk all the time about CCTB, which is chemistry, culture, talent, and belief. And, our kids bought into that. And I do think that was a big part of our success. But an incredible year. And I think most importantly, just the joy that it brought to our student athletes, first and foremost, our staff, our coaching staff, and really just all the Penn State supporters out there. Very thankful for last year.
And you mentioned that nobody really expected that maybe of you guys, but I'm sure you expected it of yourself. So I want to know when the moment was last season, if you can remember that this group is special. Maybe it was fall, a certain game, a certain play.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the culture piece, and you could feel just the chemistry within the group in the fall. Our coaching staff, obviously we're always having conversations, and we said, man, this is going to be the group that did it. And that belief was just instilled in all of us from the fall. So, but that group is not able to do what they were able to do if it wasn't for all the people and student athletes and the staff that came before. And our kids are very grateful for that. And they'll tell you, we play for those who have come before. So, I think definitely in the fall and in spring in our pre-conference tournaments, we just we felt it. We knew like this was going to be the year and this was going to be the group, and it sure was. And it came down to that last. I think I talked last year more about that our celebration than the games we were playing. But yeah, it was just what an incredible moment. And you look back and you reflect and you think to yourself as a coach, like that's why you do what you do, is just to see the joy in your kids and the people around you. So it was a lot of fun for sure, but excited about this upcoming year.
I'm glad you mentioned the culture and the chemistry, because to me, I always believe that's what those teams that go to those new levels, you're not quite sure how to describe it because you've played on talented teams before and you're like, they just had it. And so often it is that. And I want to know, how did you cultivate that and continue to cultivate that at Penn State? Because culture is not something you could rep. You could say, take out the bats and let's have 100 swings.
Right. We talk all the time, our program, we talk about comprehensive excellence. We talk about being great people, being great in the classroom and winning championships out on the field. And we firmly believe in that. And I think what we've been able to do here as a group is just, we talk about comprehensive excellence. We talk about family being blue collar and tough. And, we've stood by those values. And that foundation. And I think it really, truly starts there. But I also think it comes from the people that you bring into the program. Right. You have to bring in people that are going to fit your culture and what you have, they have to share the same values of that you have. And we were fortunate last year where we had an incredible, and you've been on a lot of teams and you know this, you have to have leadership at the top. And we had that, and we had the new kids that came into the program. They were bought into the program and to our team before they even set foot here at Penn State. And I really, truly do think that was a huge difference maker. But yeah, and again, an incredible group. But this year's group is equally as special, a different group. But just from what I've been able to see and my staff's been able to see, we're really excited about what Team 60 is going to be able to do this year.
Yeah, and I want to talk about this year's team because you set the bar last season, and now that's kind of the standard you've set
Right.
of what Penn State softball can be. For you guys, all eyes looking forward to this season, what is really the statement in I want to say, like, where you want to grow even from last season? What do you believe this team is capable of doing?
Right. I mean, for us, it's to finish in the top third of the Big Ten and to go back to back with regional appearances and put ourselves in a position to get to super regionals. The last time our programs had back to back regional appearances was back in 2005 and 2006. So it's been a long time since we've been able to do that, but for us, the mission, the goal, we understand what that is, but really we're a process-based team. And really what we put our focus on is literally how are we going to go 1-0 today in training? Right. We put our nose down, we put our head down, and those are the things that we talk about. What's going to make us great today? That's going to help us to accomplish our goal. And honestly, that's really where the focus is. It's been a lot of fun. We've got two tremendous student athletes with Maddie and Bridget on the call. They've received a lot of preseason attention, which has been awesome. Our team has been ranked in the top 25, which is so cool. And, for us as a group, it's about celebrate your success. But again, how are we going to go 1-0 today in practice? And we understand we haven't even played a game yet. But the attention that we've been able to receive as a program has been incredible because, I feel like it's probably been a while since our program has been put on that national level. So yeah, it's been amazing. We're very humbled. We're very honored, just an attitude of gratitude, but let's go to work every day.
I love that. And I want to get into the two that we'll be following. But before that, I want to talk about some of the new faces that you have brought on as well. I mean, I know you mentioned in a previous article with Softball America that the best hitter you've had this fall has been Megan Ricks, the graduate transfer from Florida Gulf Coast. Can you kind of talk about her and your new faces that people will see in your lineup and on the field and the impact you want them to have right away?
Yeah, Megan Ricks, she's a transfer from Florida Gulf Coast. She came in and had an outstanding fall. And when you look at the numbers and the things that she was able to do for us, and she's a lefty hitter, which everybody loves, right at Northwestern, so you definitely understand that.
I was a lefty hitter, so absolutely.
There you go. Right. Like you love the lefty bat, and that's something too with our offense that we definitely wanted to add into, our lineup. But yeah, she just had a tremendous fall. And I think the great thing about Megan is, she can hit a gap, she can take one over the wall, but she can also drop a bunt, which is so important. And, she runs really well. So was just very pleased with her and what she was able to do for our group offensively. And we brought in, going into the off season, we wanted to add some depth to our middle infield. We wanted to add speed to our lineup. And we brought in a tremendous transfer from St. Francis, Kaylee Walters. So we added that lefty slapper with some speed. She actually was 10th in the country last year with walks, and she's a slapper. She had 45 walks as a slapper, which is crazy, but
it's amazing when they don't want to throw to you that much with your speed.
Right. Yeah. Her plate discipline. And you know this as a pitcher, right? Slappers are usually chasing balls all over the place and just trying to get barrel to ball, but she just has amazing plate discipline. So we're excited about her offensively, but her ability to play shortstop at a high level. I mean, we feel really confident with Kaylee over there, shortstop. I mean, she's just, she's been a great addition to our program, just culturally out on the field. So really excited about her. And then we've got, 3 freshmen, and I'm sure with Natalie Lito, Abby Britton, our pitcher, Macy Chamberlain, but they've been on a lot of preseason freshman watch lists. So excited about that group. They came in as pretty highly ranked players, but yeah, they've done some really great things for us. And we expect all of our kids that we've brought in, whether transfer or the freshmen, they're going to have impact this year. So I'm excited about it.
And as you list off these names, and I've read their resumes,
Yeah.
the excitement has to be there. But I also want to know what it's looked like at practice between the competition from all these talented players. How are you managing that? How have you experienced that between your women on your team?
Right. And I think this is with every team, right? You're playing at this level because you're pretty competitive. But I think our kids do a good job of playing with confidence, but also respecting their teammates.
Mhm.
So, but no, it's a lot of fun. And you know, we're the way that we compete in practice is the way we're going to compete in the game. So we need to be able to handle the confidence from another group, right? Or another team. But yeah, I think our kids have done a really good job of that. You know, first and foremost, they're just great kids and great teammates. And but it can, if I'm going to be honest, it can be a little chippy sometimes. But we need that, right? We need to be prepared for that. So it's been a lot of fun in practice.
That's every good team that I've ever played
Absolutely.
on always has a little bit of that. And then you get
Right.
more excited to be like, oh, I get to be teammates with them again in about a week. So
For
that's the
sure.
best
When
part.
I always tell the pitchers, we have this conversation offense, at least those hitters are on our team. So,
Exactly.
but no, it's been a lot of fun.
You talked about a goal, and I know it's one day at a time, but to finish
Yes.
in the top third of this conference. And I just want to come back to that briefly because this conference has expanded.
Right.
And that's, I think, the special thing about doing this media days is we have 17 teams now. We stretch from West Coast to East Coast to
Yeah,
Midwest. And it's a true testament when you can finish and win any series in any game that you're competing against the best teams in the country.
for sure.
What has that message been like to your team, but also just you as a coach now preparing for even more faces in schools?
Yeah, well, first off, I'd like to welcome our 3 new programs and our coaches. I mean, you're talking about historically, just some of the best programs and coaches in our country, right? And I kind of joked with our at our Big Ten meeting. I said, I think now with the addition, we are the conference that has won the most national championships. So, but no, you know, I'm excited. Obviously, they have helped elevate our conference. But I think for us, it's really just putting the focus on who are we going
Mhm.
to be as Penn Staters, right? Who is the team that we're going to put out on the field? And that's really just always been our focus. But yeah, to finish in the top third, and I will say the last 2 years, our team has always literally been 1 or 2 games away
Mhm.
from finishing in the top third. So for us, it was really just an internal goal like, hey, we've been right there, but we feel like with this team, we can really take that next step. And yes, we do have 17 teams, but you know, we also don't play everybody in conference,
Yes.
obviously. So there's a lot of factors like that too. But it's exciting. I think it's a great time to be a part of our conference and to compete in the Big Ten. So yeah, again, we want to know every single day, and we stay locked in on what we're doing every day to get better.
And as we look to segue onto your players, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about Bridget and Maddie, who are
Right.
about to come on, because I think it's really special to have the two of them. You get Maddie, who's just been a staple for your program year after year, and Bridget, the way she just put the country and Penn State on the map in her very first year. It took new faces and veteran experience to kind of give you that happy middle. What can you talk about the two of them?
First off, you're not going to find better people and better teammates. And that's what it always starts, you know, with us. It's about, are you a good person? Are you, we talk that every day, be a great teammate, be a great teammate. So those two are just top-notch kids. I mean, they work really, really hard every single day, you know, and I think they are two players on our team that have just bought into the systems and the processes that we have here at Penn State. And we take a lot of pride here at Penn State in our ability to develop players, right? We're going to develop people and we're going to develop players. And I think those two are a prime example of just, you know, what we've been able to do with kids who buy in, with kids who are going to work really hard. And just starting with Maddie Gordon, if you look at her career, I think that the most incredible thing about Maddie is Maddie as a freshman, the work ethic, her attitude, the person that you see every day who didn't get as much playing time, maybe her first 2 years, to what she did her junior, same person, just took advantage of her opportunities. And, you know, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of great success stories, and Maddie Gordon is one of them. And, you know, and everybody knows the story about Bridget. I mean, it was us and Boise State who recruited her. and we just saw a great kid who we knew was gonna be able to compete at a high level. I don't think we expected her to do everything that she did, because I mean she pretty much won every single award a player can win as a freshman, and just a phenomenal year. But I know Bridget will be the first to say it's because of her teammates that she had that success. But again, bought into the systems, came out, worked hard every single day, great teammate. So I think those two have that in common. But I'm very thankful to be their coach. I love them and all of our kids to death. And yeah, I'm excited to turn this over to them, because that's really why everybody is on this call is to hear our kids. And yeah, you got two great ones. So I know they're going to represent Penn State very well on this call today, and I'm excited for them.
Well, it starts at the top. And Coach, I can't thank you enough for all that you're doing and continue to grow our conference and the game. And thank you for spending time with us here today.
Okay. And thank you so much. I just always appreciate your passion and your dedication in helping us to really just elevate our sport and our conference. So thank you to you.
Thank you. That means a lot. And as we turn the table, I don't think I could have done an intro better than what Coach just did for us. Bridget and Maddie, welcome on. Thanks for coming with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And we already have quite a lot of fans in the chat, which I love. You're starting to see a little bit of excitement. What has this experience been like for you guys? Let's just talk about last year and leading up to this season, about this fan base that you're building, about the respect people are putting on Penn State softball's name, because as Coach just mentioned, you guys have only been those few games away. And last year, able to knock off top 25 teams and then just compete at such a high level against the best of the best. What was that like experiencing it as a player?
I think it was just an awesome experience, especially to see like all the hard work and the girls who came before us and really like paved the way for the ones that were there last year and like what we can do this year. So it was just super cool to see all that come through. And I know we talk about family a lot, and you talked about the fan base, and I would say that our fan base really is family, and having them at the games and like watching our live streams and just everything to support us means the world.
Yeah, like Maddie said, I mean, we're so grateful for our fans and the people who support us, and just like looking up in stands and seeing all of our boosters and all of our donors who truly put so much into this program and give us the opportunity to play at the level that we play at. So we're so grateful for all of that they do, and like we talk about the people who came before us and like all the hard work that they put in. So we just want to make people proud, all of our alumni proud of the school they played for. So yeah.
Two things that Coach mentioned that I wanted to touch on is one, the celebration, because I think you guys did some of the most iconic celebrating after the wins last season. But two was your chemistry and your culture. And I think even just watching you two interact with one another, being, an upperclassman and still an underclassman, there doesn't feel like any divide watching your team last season or even following along with you guys through social media in the fall. How is that cultivated? I know Coach talked a little bit about what an importance it is in your program. What does that look like in the locker room and off the field for you guys as players?
We definitely take culture very serious here, and we make it like a priority in everything we do. I think it's awesome to see like how much time, not just at softball, that we put into getting to know each other, but outside of it. So every week we make it a point, like check in with your teammates, go grab coffee together, like maybe you study together. And I think that really does like carry over into the field, because we just build that trust with each other and then the belief in one another and like confidence.
Yeah, exactly like Maddie said, we're all so close. So we truly just love hanging out with each other inside softball, outside of softball. And like coming in last year too, the upperclassmen, everyone's so welcoming. So it really just made a family that you're coming into. So now at school this year, like we can welcome the freshmen like we were welcomed. So I think that really just carries the culture down the line. And like we talk about leaving the program better than it's found. So all of the seniors really teach the people coming in, and then we in turn get to help out the freshmen. So it's just a family.
You talked about some coffee runs. Is that a fan favorite for team activities outside, or what would you guys say are some of your highlight moments you love to do with your teammates?
I would definitely say we do love our coffee and we really love our breakfast food. So a lot of times it looks like going to get breakfast together. We have a favorite spot, Sours, and it's just like all-time favorite in State College, and our team is known there very well.
Oh, I love that the team is known. It's like you guys are as regular customers that they see you come in, they're like, all right, table, here you go.
I also think Sweet Frog too. Sweet Frog is a favorite of ours. It's frozen yogurt. So we actually just went yesterday. So a lot of girls on our team like Sweet Frog too.
I love that. I'm mentally writing those down for the next time I'm in Happy Valley. In the meantime, I want to talk about what you guys are bringing onto the field. And Bridget, let's start with you. And we'll just go back to last season a little bit because you step into these huge shoes. And before you even know it, you're facing, like I mentioned earlier, the top teams in the country. And you're not only facing them, but you're beating them. And then you look back at the end of the season and realize you've thrown well over 200 innings. Is that something you ever expected? Or just in the moment you realize, like, I have confidence, I belong here? What did that look like for you the deeper you got into last year?
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect it at all coming in. I knew I was coming into a great program with great coaches and great teammates, but I did not expect really. Obviously, we have like huge goals for ourselves, but I don't think anyone expected to do exactly what we did. So it was just such a cool experience, and like it's easy to play at a school like this. It's easy to perform to your best when you have people around you loving and supporting you. So all we did last year was amazing, and I don't think we had goals, but I don't think we expected to do exactly what we did. But that just means going into this year, we have a bigger target on our back. And we're going to take what we did last year and then just move on and try to overcome the goals and do better.
And for Maddie, you as well, and I thought Coach put it best, you've always been that person I felt like the team could lean on. You were always such a team player, a culture person, but it's really within these last 2 years that you had the opportunity and you just ran with it. And I look at what you've done, not only defensively, but offensively, just continue to be such a spark within that team. Where do you feel like within your game really clicked for you and you started feeling success?
Honestly, I think it's just the people around me. Like I learned how to be that person because I had those people around me with my teammates, and I learned like to put in the hard work and to be that person that your teammates can count on, and to just really trust the process because of my upperclassmen and then the people who were just in my class and everything. And I think that I just like stuck with that, and I really looked up to them, and thankfully I've been able to like see it like play through for me. But I think I always just remind myself of that to the girls that I looked up to, and to just follow their example.
And I want to come back to you a little bit because you've seen the growth of Penn State softball. I feel like obviously the best year. Bridget, you only know what it's like to win. But Maddie, to see where this program has been from when you stepped on the field day one, being a very talented softball program, but then the way that you guys have just bought in. You bought into coach, you bought into each other, and you become somebody who nobody wants to play in the Big Ten. What did that take, and what does that mean for you to really leave a place better than you found it?
It definitely took a lot, and we're still not done. We're still working to get even better every day. But I think it did. It just took buying in, and all of us, we were all in on our values. We say we're family, blue collar, and tough. And every single day, we just went to practice and we gave it all we had to be that for each other. And we just went out on the field and just leave everything out there. And once you put in all the work, all you can do is give it all you have. And then wherever everything falls, that's just where it is. And you just keep buying into the process.
You talked about how you guys are not done yet. I want to know from both of you, what are those conversations like right now within players? Like, you guys are hungry. You're ready to take even more than you did last season. What are those feelings like internally right now before very opening weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we were literally just talking about this at practice yesterday about like the feelings we're feeling as we're going into next week and playing such a good schedule. We're talking about just being hungry and like being hungry for all the things we want to do. And it's kind of silly, but we talk about being a dog, and I feel like we try to embody that every day. Just like Maddie said, leaving it all on the field. So going into next weekend, we're really excited, and we're just gonna work as hard as we can and leave everything on the field and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think I could say it any better than Bridget. We just talk about how we have to go out there and give it our all. And we talked about we are and what that means to Penn State, and just carrying that with us in every game that we play and everywhere we go.
Do you both have a weekend or a team you're playing, a series, place you're traveling that you're circling, you're most looking forward to playing there?
I think I'm really excited for this weekend, honestly. And my family gets to come to a good amount of games, so I get to see some of my family this weekend. So I'm honestly excited for opening weekend because we work so hard throughout the preseason. So it's going to be cool to see what we can do.
Yeah, I feel like I'm excited for every weekend. I am really excited, though, when we get to go to Salem, Virginia, because it's like close to home for me.
super special. And as I go into my next question, I just want to kind of go through and just show all of the comments. I mean, the love that you guys have in your program is absolutely amazing. And I know you touched on it in the beginning, and I just want to take us back to, you mentioned the fans, the supporters, beyond even just your team. How is that so special here at Penn State? And the people that you guys have, you feel like you're 20 deep right now as a team, but you're 120 deep when you're at home with the people you have behind you.
Yeah, we talk about the culture of Penn State. Like you see it around all of the sports we have at this school. We're especially grateful too, just to see like people just love Penn State. Like anywhere you go, people love Penn State. So it makes me, and I'm sure all of us, really proud to just wear Penn State on our chest and have people support us. So it's not even just like the softball fans, like just anyone at the school. Like Penn State is an amazing place to be, and we see that every day.
Yeah, we talk about the we are, and to a lot of us, we say that means community, and it's something bigger than ourselves. And I think we really do feel that with our fan base, whether it's our alums, the booster club, our donors, anybody that comes to watch the game, the kids in the community, just like high school kids, any of those people, like we just know that they're there with us every single game and that they're always cheering for us. And I think that means a lot because it does give us something bigger to play for than ourselves.
And the fan base is only continuing to grow as the more people get to know you both, as more people get to know this conference. I want to know, as we close it up here, what really makes this game special to you both? Because I've watched you play firsthand. I've spoke with you now, and you can tell there's so much joy behind the game of softball for you both. Why do you love it so much?
Yeah, I mean, softball, I started playing because of my sisters mostly. So it just reminds me of my family and it's easy to play something that you love. So it's easy to go to practice every day when you love what you're doing and you love who you're playing with. So I think that makes it easy. It's not like I go to practice every day and it's hard, but it's easy to do things that you love. So I think that's why it makes me happy.
I have to interject really quick. Bridget, you're the only person I know who like smiles. I love every time they're talking. And then I see you on the mound and you're such a competitor. I'm like, whoa, there's two sides. I love it.
Thanks. I don't know how I do it. Guess poker face.
Good poker face. I love that. Maddie, for you, what has made this sport so special throughout your entire career?
I think just like Bridget said, it's kind of like a family affair at this point in my family. My mom played softball, and then my sister, my dad, and my brother both played baseball in college. So I think that's just something like I always joke. I was born and bred to play softball, so that's what I'm doing. But I really do truly love the game, and I just love getting to go out there and compete. Like competing is one of my favorite things to do. If you ask my sister, she might say I'm too competitive, but I would disagree with her. And I just really love to get to go out and just make memories with people that I love.
Your family time in the backyard had to have been intense, or at the dinner table with all of you knowing how to play softball or baseball, I assume.
Yes, always. Me and my brother had some pretty intense wiffle ball games growing up.
What would you say now? One-on-one, who could hit the ball further?
I think that I would beat Tristan. Yeah, I think I got him.
I love that. All right. Well, you're going to have to show him this little clip. I'm sure he'll enjoy it, and you guys could test it out for sure. But on behalf of Softball America, Bridget, Maddie, I can't thank you enough. It's been so much fun to watch you guys compete. And I know I speak for everybody in the entire conference. We can't wait to see what you and the rest of the team do this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, and good luck. Opening day around the corner. And for everybody who's been tuning in all day, we just finished our 5th team of the day. If you missed anybody, feel free to go back on our Softball America YouTube page to catch up. And then later today, we have Indiana, and we are finishing off our nightcap with Ohio State. So plenty of good softball here in the Big Ten and on Softball America. Once again, Bridget Nemeth, Maddie Gordon, and the rest of Penn State, thank you for coming on.